with the expansion of Tour de Endurance Season 3 going from 12 events to 16, we have our first event 13 in Tour de Endurance history, with this time the Team Final Descent, the blockbuster finale of Season 2, returning to begin the expansion for Season 3. At this point in time, the Green Peacocks have a 20-point lead over the Greyscales, or only a further one over a resurgent of late, Hell Clowns.
So in the Team Final Descent, if you don't remember from last season, it's heats of 4, where all 16 marbles from 4 different teams will go down this course. They'll get points depending on where they finish from 1st to 16th. You want to be as far as late as possible going through the final hole, and the team that gets the most points, the top 2, will advance to the semi-finals. Top 2 from the semi-finals will advance to the finals. We're seeing how it's done with the expedition teams in this first round.
So it's essentially, it's the funnel rally that we saw earlier, but this time instead of all 16, it's just 4 teams amongst 4 different competitors, and it's cumulative total. So you see Sky Dragons, Bone Rattlers, Super Cat's Eyes, and Breakfast Doritos are having a crack at it, and this time it's just going to be the full thing. And you can see all the different strategies. You can have one marble fall down earlier and try and knock others down like the Super Cat's Eyes are doing, while the others excel up top, or you can just have a couple fly up as best they can and just wing it like the Breakfast Doritos are currently doing. And Super Cat's Eyes, who at some point in time though, they had top 2 in the race. And then you see there are now 2 green funnels in this version compared to Season 2, which only had 1. So this is just going to allow for even more chaos and potentially comebacks in the final part of this race.
Yeah, a lot of different strategies at play here. You want to have as many marbles as high up as possible, but also you don't want to have marbles tripping each other up if they're on the same team. So we'll have to see if teams are wary of that in this event. You can see Breakfast Doritos and the Sky Dragons also circling pretty well in the top green funnel. Now a lot of them down in the bottom green funnel. That's when you know the event is coming to a close, at least the heat in this one.
Alright, so looking at this one, it's a Super Cat's Eye that comes on through first, so that's just 1 point for one of them. But the other competitors are doing quite well. One of them is standing strong. You see a Sky Dragon there, he popped out. You just don't have to get into the catch space, you just have to, like, well, drop through that final funnel, and you'll be fine. Super Cat's Eye still have 3 on course, despite their last marble coming in first place. Sky Dragons have 2 as well, but that's not going to last very long with this. Breakfast Dorito pushing him in, and look at this, 2 for the Super Cat's Eyes, over 1 for Breakfast Doritos and Sky Dragons. They've come out of this looking the best, but with their marble finishing last, inconsistency could be a big problem in this event for the main show teams, as we've seen here.
Yes, so it's just 16 points for getting first, 15 for second, all the way down to 1 for getting last. The Sky Dragon will individually get the win, but I don't think they had the consistency to potentially move on if this was a main league event. So you can see Sky Dragon, Super Cat's Eyes, that's 2 and 3. That's the consistency that you want to see in this event. Bone Rattlers also down the order.
Now, something that is quite important, or that I neglected to mention, that Sky Dragons here actually still hold the Tour de Endurance record that they set in the pre-show back in Season 2, that no one was able to beat in Season 2, but could someone pick it up and beat it here, as we move on to Heat 1. Finally onto the main show, the Green Platoon, White Knights, Condiment Kings, and the Navy SEALs.
And all of these teams are that further up the standing, so we'll see if any of these teams can jump up with potentially a medal. 2 will advance to the semi-finals. Condiment Kings looking pretty good. White Knights looking very good with 3 marbles in the top funnel. They still have a 1-2 going on right now, while Lagoon Platoon and Navy SEALs plummet down into the orange.
Orange funnels are where you can start to make your comeback. So he is opening one, set the tone. There's 3 for the White Knights compared to 1 Condiment King, who fights 2 of them off, but the White Knights do have the individual lead. But look at the White Knights, they've got all 4 of theirs up in the top order at the moment, while Navy SEALs have already had 1 cross the bridge, and soon to be 2, but there's a trio of the Green Platoon also down there. But the White Knights, early on, they have the race in their stride as the number 2 seed in this event. Sorry, they got set silver in this event last season, while Serpent Speeders got the gold. So the home crowd feeling a bit excited about this one, I'm sure.
Yeah, Condiment Kings also looking pretty good with 2 marbles fairly up there. Navy SEALs about middle of the pack for them. They have 2 marbles close to the end of the orange funnel. They have 1 also down in the green. Lagoon Platoon, they have 3 marbles already in the green. So 2 marbles for the Condiment Kings. So White Knights are the only team that's really looking very comfortable right now. All the teams still had 1 except for the Navy SEALs now in the orange funnels.
The White Knights and then the Green Platoon have the last 2 left. The Green Platoon, they have 1 marble well up top, but they have 3 well down below. That's the opposite of what you want to do with that strategy. Is the White Knights still, they're going to have 1 well ahead of the rest here if they can avoid collisions with the other 3 marbles still in that top green funnel, 2 of which they were Condiment Kings. So throughout this whole race, you've seen Condiment Kings and White Knights pretty much dominate this race, and it looks like that's going to hold to the end. 2 Green Platoon coming through, and the Navy SEALs are close to the event horizon. In fact, there's actually 3 Green Platoon, 2 Navy SEALs. It's pretty much I don't know if math needs to be done here. This looks well over with 3 White Knights and 3 Condiment Kings still left compared to 1 for the other 2 teams.
Yeah, the White Knights were looking a bit shaky compared to what they were earlier on in this heat, but then they recovered very nicely in the final green funnel. Condiment Kings also, I think, a bit overshadowed by the White Knights, but they were very consistent as well. Lagoon Platoon and Navy Seals, they do have one marble that holds on for a good total, but it's not nearly going to be enough for either of those two. And meanwhile, this last White Knight is just going to showboat their way to victory.
They're just playing some mind games now, using that. Perhaps this is it could always be the mind games in this. You take as much time as you need, showing what you can do as just an individual, and that your team, while they can do good, they could, with runs like that, with competitors like that, and 225 is very close to the course record. So that White Knight marble knows what they're doing clearly when they get up into the lead. So dangerous competitor he is. But let's see how this race transpired. Lagoon Platoon were never really in it. Navy Seals toward the front. They could have had a comeback, but they had all that. Look at that, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, bottom 2, and then the next 2 after that for those 2 teams. So they just couldn't figure it out, I don't think. White Knights and Condiment Kings easily going to advance here.
Disappointing for Lagoon Platoon. After a great result in the last event, they were hoping to put their season back on track, but it's not going to happen whatsoever in this event. White Knights and Condiment Kings, though, those two are going to be hoping to get medals. They have to get through the semi-finals. We're seeing some more replays. Look at how many Navy Seals and Lagoon Platoon were already done and spinning very close to the event horizon. Meanwhile, later in the replay, all the Condiment Kings and White Knights pretty much were up there. So easily 42 for both those teams, comfortably going to be moving on.
A tie in the first heat between White Knights and Condiment Kings with very good scores. That is a very good tone set of how this event's going to go. The Marauders, Hell Clowns, Super Sprinters, and Crazy Chickens are next to run. So, Marauders are on a 2-medal streak. They're back in the game after some rough form for some of the Season 1 veterans. And now they've got 2 in a row. Can they make it 3 in a row here? Citrus Sprinters, Crazy Chickens, of course, just 1 gold, so they're also looking to continue their streak. And Citrus Sprinters and the Hell Clowns are just looking for a good result. Hell Clowns as well, they're in 3rd place, so if Green Peacocks or Grayscales don't advance, it's big for the Hell Clowns.
Yeah, 3 teams here, arguably, all have pretty good form as of late with the Marauders, Chickens, and the Hell Clowns. But currently, it's the Citrus Sprinters in the front with 1 marble ahead, but no one else on their team is doing that well. Marauders have 3 fairly up there now, 2 of them circle down in that funnel, which has like 6-7 marbles already. 3 Marauders still circling pretty well. Crazy Chickens, Hell Clowns, and Citrus Sprinters all have 1 apiece up there.
Now we start to see those entrances into the green funnel. There's 1 of every team except for the Marauders, but there are 2 that suddenly pile into the orange funnel. And now there's 2 Hell Clowns, 2 Marauders, a couple of Chickens in the orange. But you see, Citrus Sprinters, they've made a great comeback. There are still 3 of the Citrus Sprinters in the orange funnel. Now it's 2 of every team except for the Hell Clowns, who have all 4 of their marbles in the green. That is not what you want to do. The Citrus Sprinters, a crazy angle by one of their competitors, and suddenly they seem like they're out of the race again. But the Marauders are looking pretty strong, as are the Crazy Chickens and Citrus Sprinters. Again, the Hell Clowns look to be in a dire situation here, as I think one of their marbles, I don't see him on the track. That's another one! There's only 2 Hell Clowns members still on the track.
Oh, this is absolute disaster for the Hell Clowns. 3rd place in the championship. 2 of them are circling, about to fall on through, but the other 2 are nowhere to be seen. Meanwhile, Citrus Sprinters have 3, circling very close. Marauders look in a very good position, and so do the Crazy Chickens. They have 1, leading everyone. The other 2 have finished, but I think Marauders have easy advancement here. All 4 of them still circling in the final funnel.
This is absolutely phenomenal from the Marauders. They've had all their marbles up in the top 6, and 3 of them are going to get in the top 4. Will it be a top 3 with a Citrus Sprinter? No, he fends off 1, 2 of them, and the Marauders, what could have been the finest run we've ever seen, is just fizzled out. That is still easily above 50, and an easy advancement for the Marauders. But who moved on with them? I think we can safely say the Hell Clowns are out of the equation with 2 DNFs that we didn't see. But Crazy Chickens at one point had top 2 in the green funnels, and Citrus Sprinters were consistently in the mix. But we'll have to see between those 2 with the overall results who's moving on with the Marauders.
Yeah, that's the big question, because Marauders, I think, undoubtedly are going to be moving on, but Citrus Sprinters or Crazy Chickens, both of these teams need good results, and one of them will be able to advance. You can see Hell Clowns, they have 4 circling in the green funnel, and where did they go? You can see 2 of them going in the green funnel there, and 2 of them DNFing at the bottom. Hell Clowns definitely not moving on. Crazy Chickens, I think, are a bit worse off than the Citrus Sprinters. Oh, there you can see the Hell Clowns just plummeting. It's exactly what you don't want to do in this event.
Just falling through the foundation upon exiting through the green funnel, that is completely their fault. That is a big misstep from 2 Hell Clowns members. The fact that they both did it is really rough. But as you can see, the Crazy Chickens have 3 down there compared to just... And then there's 3 for the Citrus Sprinters. It might have been all dependent on that last Citrus Sprinter fending off half the Marauders, and it is. It's 54 for the Marauders. As I said earlier, that record by the Sky Dragons has just been shattered with that fantastic Marauders run. The Citrus Sprinters, by a wider margin than I thought, will move on with them. But holy cow from the Marauders, that is just unreal.
And now we're getting into the next seed. This is going to be very interesting. Our championship leaders, the Green Peacocks here, but so are the Serpent Speeders, the winners of this event last season, and their rivals, Green Peacocks, the Party Crashers. Also Team Mayhem, who is down in the standings. They need a good result as well. But who's going to advance here? All eyes are on the Green Peacocks to see if they can be knocked out in this event to make this championship a bit closer. Team Mayhem have multiple circling up there. Green Peacocks also have one. Party Crashers also had one. They dropped on through. Green Peacocks have the lead individually, but I think Serpent Speeders and Team Mayhem are looking pretty good as a team.
Team Mayhem, the unfortunate odd one out here. You've got 2 big rivals who are both up there, and the Serpent Speeders, who are the home team, also doing very good. Then you've got Team Mayhem, who have really struggled this season. Can they get something going here? It looked good at the opening, and they're still up there, but a couple are starting to stumble down. The Green Peacocks, though, look to be in the best spot at the moment. They've got 2 in the highest positions, 1 in the just across the bridge, and 1 who just came across the bridge. But they've also got 1 from each team, now 2 from the Serpent Speeders, now 3 actually from the Serpent Speeders in the green funnel. They start to pile in, but Team Mayhem and the Party Crashers have the most consistency. Green Peacocks have just 1 up there, and now Team Mayhem, as I'm saying that, there's not going to be 1. That's a 1-2 for Team Mayhem with the green funnels to go.
This is the best Team Mayhem's looked all season. If they can keep this clean, they should be able to advance. They also have 2 down there in the bottom. Serpent Speeders have 3. Party Crashers also have 3. Those 2 teams need to circle on through for a long time in that last funnel if they want any chance at advancing. Green Peacocks, meanwhile, have 2 in the top funnel, pushing that Team Mayhem model down. They will have the only 2 in that green funnel, but they plummet down pretty quickly. Now almost everyone in the final green funnel. Serpent Speeders also circling through.
It's every man for himself at the very end of this race here. There's 3 from I cannot tell any team. There's 3 for Team Mayhem, there's 3 for the Speeders, but importantly, there's 3 from the Green Peacocks, and they're not going through. 3 for Green Peacocks left, as there's 6 left on the course. So Green Peacocks, I think through consistency, are going to advance. Oh, they just can't beat out that last Team Mayhem marble. But did Team Mayhem's early consistency do just enough to fend off the Serpent Speeders? From what I saw, I think the Party Crashers, their teamwork in the funnel still leaves a lot to be desired off of their individual, compared to their individual funnel performances. So I think they've missed it here. But between Team Mayhem and the Serpent Speeders, one of those 2 is going to join the championship lead in Green Peacocks, who look to be back on form after a couple of missteps.
The Party Crashers. This is the event that they won the championship in last season, but I think it's fallen away from them. But it was very close to that final green funnel. Pretty much everyone in that final green funnel, but very little gaps between all the marbles. Serpent Speeders or Team Mayhem. Who's going to advance, though, with the Green Peacock? I think it's safe to say that our championship leaders are going to be moving on. Team Mayhem, they do get the individual win, and it's good enough by 3 points to put them into the next round. Team Mayhem finally have something to smile about.
This is great to see from Team Mayhem, and the Jam. We move on to Heat 4 with the Jade Jockeys, Blue Brigade, Grayscales, and Neptune Nomads. Grayscales now sweating bullets, seeing the fact that the Green Peacocks have advanced, and in quite dominant fashion, I would say, to the Green Peacocks. So if Grayscales can get through here, we're going to see perhaps those 2 rocket ahead with the Hell Clowns and Serpent Speeders lost. But the Jade Jockeys, great in the funnels, and Blue Brigade did well here previously, but Neptune Nomads have absolutely 0 experience in this event. So we'll see how they go against 3 pretty good funnel teams, especially in the team funnel descent. Grayscales look early on, they look in the best shape.
Yeah, the Grayscales are no strangers to contending for a championship, of course, as the Season 1 champions. They have 2 circling on through on the top. Jade Jockeys look very inconsistent with 1 up there, but all the other ones down the order. Neptune Nomads also fairly mixed for them. Same could be said for the Blue Brigade. All of them in the span of 3 orange funnels, the last 3 orange funnels, with one of them in the 4th. Now they circle on, now they drop down through, but Grayscales continuing those 2 marbles in their high position.
I don't know if you saw, but the first 3 marbles to enter the green funnels were all Jade Jockeys contestants. That is really bad for the Jade Jockeys. While Grayscales still have 3 of the 4 marbles now remaining in the orange funnels are all the Grayscales. This is absolutely fantastic from the Grayscales so far, but the green funnels, it is still very close. There are 2 Blue Brigade members up there, and some are starting to push forward in the second green funnel. It could still slip away, as we saw from Serpent Speeders and Party Crashers in the last heat, but 2 Grayscales compared to 1 Blue Brigade and Jade Jockeys. This is going to be very close toward the end.
Jade Jockey's already starting to finish. All the Neptune Nomads also pretty close there. Blue Brigade also not in a great position apart from that marble at the top. Grayscales I think are the only team that have consistency with their 4 marbles. Blue Brigade also have 3 marbles up there. J Jockeys somehow have kept 3 marbles all the way in the event. One has dropped down 3 now, but look at the Blue Brigade and the J Jockeys. Both of these teams have marbles that have kept on all the way to the end. Grayscales, I think, fell apart a bit at the end, but will it be enough for them to move on?
The Grayscales were an absolute shambles in the last final. There were 3 of them that all just got swallowed up by the pack, and they finished in mid-pack spots, while J Jockeys got 1, 2, and 6, I think, or J Jockeys and Blue Brigade. Those teams pretty much made up the top 6 with 3 marbles each. So the Grayscales, despite looking so strong in the opening orange funnels, they might have just missed advancement here. We'll see what the overall what the table says once it pops up, but the Grayscales could probably kicking themselves and absolutely worried at the moment. And there it is. It's 2, 4, and 5 for Blue Brigade compared to 1, 3, and 7 for the J Jockeys, and the Grayscales 11, 10, 9, 7. I think they've cooked it.
I think J Jockeys and Blue Brigade have done a wonderful job to hold out, especially the J Jockeys in that bottom green funnel. I thought they were done by the time they had so many marbles down there, but they've done a fantastic job of holding out to top positions in this heat.
In fact, the entire Grayscales trio squad, they just got mushed by a single J Jockeys member, just pushed them all to the middle, and they couldn't do anything about it. They were completely just like stuck behind them, and the draft was not working at all. And the J Jockeys, with just that one play, have pushed themselves. They have pushed themselves into the next round. With the Blue Brigade, the Grayscales ruined themselves in the green funnels, and they couldn't do anything to stop it, and they will finish in 10th place. Dear me, the Green Peacocks celebrating now, because now it's all them to try and push this lead as far as they can as we move on to semi-finals. They will be joined by the White Knights, Citrus Sprinters, and the J Jockeys in semi-final A.
So Grayscales out Hellhounds also nowhere to be seen. 15th in this event for them. Green Peacocks, the ball is in their court, but can they get a medal or will they be knocked out in the semi-finals? We'll have to see. White Knights and J Jockeys looking pretty good in the top funnel so far, but it's still early days with the Citrus Sprinter also doing pretty well up there. J Jockeys and, oh, that's the Green Peacocks falling down through into the orange now.
So early days, White Knights look just as good as they did in the first heat. They were dominant in Heat 1 despite the Condiment Kings keeping up very well with them. But this time they look just as well. White Knights have all their marbles in I'd say the top half of the order until 1 is pushed through by an absolute mosh of marbles in that third orange funnel. But the Green Peacocks have wonderfully dabbled. J Jockeys have several, while they have just 1 up at the top, with Citrus Sprinters still holding out. And the White Knights, and now the Green Peacocks have 2 on a resurgent just before they come across the bridge. So this is still anyone's race, I'd say. But again, the J Jockeys already have 1 into the green and already approaching the horizon of that first green funnel. So the Jockeys, can they go for another late race comeback?
Yeah, we'll have to see. Citrus Sprinters also were looking pretty good, but they continue to plumb on through now. Now it's the White Knights with 3 marbles, still not even in the last orange funnel. Green Peacocks also have fair few in that last orange funnel. Now one of them drops through, and still White Knights also. They have a 1-2 briefly before the other one drops into the green. But still, White Knights have no one in the bottom green funnel. Now they have 2, but it's the Green Peacocks and J Jockeys already having 2 finishers. J Jockeys, I think they need to hold out with their other 2 marbles, or else they're not going to be advancing. Green Peacocks also pretty close. They're all Citrus Sprinters in the final green funnel.
J Jockey's chances are very limited here. 2 Citrus Sprinters have slipped on through as well, and there's looking close to be another one. There goes another one. That's going to be White Knights and Green Peacocks looking pretty good here. J Jockeys, they do still have their 2, but 1 comes on through. And in fact, they both come on through as I say that. Commentator's curse and the White Knights. Look at this! Oh no! The Green Peacocks do fend 2 of them off. It was almost an elusive top 3 for the White Knights, but despite that Green Peacocks member didn't really have to fight too much because J Jockeys and Citrus Sprinters stuffed themselves in. And the White Knights, another dominant winner, and the Green Peacocks are going to move on to the final here. I'm pretty confident. I don't know if there's much chance for the Citrus Sprinters or the J Jockeys to sneak through here.
The White Knights, this is the second time after a heat you saw that one marble circling through for a long time, but the White Knights might be a dangerous contender going to the final. But the Green Peacocks as well done a wonderful job in the later part of this semi-final to, I think, do enough to advance. The J Jockeys looked nowhere throughout the entirety of this heat, and they couldn't make the comeback, and Citrus Sprinters also fell apart towards the end. 3 from 12, 13 to 14. Green Peacocks looking very consistent.
The White Knights, though, left most consistent. You saw the record of 54 got shattered earlier. If that one White Knight member who finished lower down had done just as well as his teammates, we could have seen it broken again, but I don't think that that's going to be broken quite yet. The White Knights, though, had a wonderful run, one of the finest runs of the day for sure, because they kept up the whole way. The Green Funnels did not ruin their race, as it did for teams like the Grayscales, but the J Jockeys and Citrus Sprinters will be kicking themselves after that. Green Peacocks, though, championship leaders, are again in the final with a 75% chance, in theory, of getting a medal. 49 and 43, dominant by those two teams. Goodness me.
And the White Knights almost having a Marauders-esque run. We're going to be seeing the Marauders after their amazing run in the heats. We're going to be seeing them here with Team Mayhem, Condiment Kings, and the Blue Brigade to see who joins the White Knights and the Green Peacocks in the final.
Team Mayhem and Marauders in the same semi-final. This is going to cause for some confusion, I imagine, for me and Ramen, but we'll see how it goes. There's 3 Team Mayhem early on compared to just 1 Condiment King and Marauder. So the Marauders, though, do have the early individual lead as the absolute mosh of what looks like to be a good chunk of Team Mayhem again in the second translucent final as they start to drop into the orange. But it's too early to tell. But Team Mayhem and Marauders early on, they look alright.
And Condiment Kings also, they have one in the top orange funnel, one just going into it at that point. Team Mayhem looking pretty consistent. Maybe this is their event. We'll have to see. Blue Brigade looking not so consistent with models all over the place. Condiment Kings also plummeting down the same funnel fairly down and one all the way almost going to the green. But it's Team Mayhem and the Marauders, I think, in the best position. But it's very close so far.
2 Condiment Kings into the green final, 2 Blue Brigade, and 1 Team Mayhem. The Marauders, again, yet to get one into the green final, but I think, as I said, that one does drop in. Condiment Kings already have one slip into the final green final, whereas look up top, you see, I think that's 2 Team Mayhem and 1 Marauder fending in the second to last orange final, but 2 Condiment Kings are right there as well. This is still a very close race. Anyone could still advance here with that mush in the first green final, but Team Mayhem individually have the lead, and it looks to be a pretty good one with all that fighting in the first green final. 3 Blue Brigade, though. This is looking like an absolute... The Blue Brigade looking to be slipping further and further from victory, and it's going to be... Oh, no, Team Mayhem coming through first. Oh, that was Marauders, actually. Sorry, again, tough to tell.
Blue Brigade also, 2 of them have finished, the other 2 in the last green funnel. Condiment Kings and Team Mayhem have 1 apiece in the top green. That was just Team Mayhem. But Team Mayhem, can they hold on? Condiment Kings still have 3 circling. I think they're doing a pretty good job of keeping in that green funnel. Blue Brigade, I think, might be finished. Yeah, they have 1 finish. They just have 1 keep that is still going. Team Mayhem have 2, and so do the Condiment Kings. Will these 2 be the teams that are advancing?
I think with both of these 2 in the high orders, this is going to be it for Team Mayhem and Condiment Kings. 1 comes in 4th for the Condiment Kings. In fact, it's top 2 for Team Mayhem. The first top 2 result of the day peels his way in. Team Mayhem get 1st and 2nd place with Condiment Kings coming in 3rd and 4th place. Condiment Kings seem more consistent with Team Mayhem having some lower results, but I think close match overall, but I think Team Mayhem and Condiment Kings will move on. Let's just see how this race transpired.
Yeah, Team Mayhem, I think, has shown very consistent results in this event, and those 2 teams, those 2 models getting a 1-2, despite the other 2 models not doing great, I think that will be good enough for them to move on. Condiment Kings also more consistency for them. Blue Brigade, they were pretty early into the green funnels, and I think they couldn't hold on for long enough to get the advancement. Marauders also fell away, and that will be a bit disappointing for them after their great heat performance. But we'll have to see. I'm pretty sure it will be Team Mayhem and the Condiment Kings that are going to the final.
And it is another tie. We've got 40 and 40. Team Mayhem and the Condiment Kings easily advance there. In fact, it's 2 ties, 40-40, 28-28 for those 2. And the 28-28 gets the Blue Brigade and the Marauders 5th and 6th. So best of the rest goes to the Blue Brigade, and the Marauders, after that record-breaking run, can only get 10 points out of it. So not too happy, I'm sure. But now we look to the final, and everyone's holding their breath if the Green Peacocks will get themselves another top result and push themselves well ahead with only 3 events to go for this one. But Condiment Kings, White Knights, and Team Mayhem are going to do whatever they can to stop that from happening and get themselves up on that board.
The White Knights did get a podium in this event last season. They also have looked very good in both of their rounds, so they're definitely one to watch out for. I'd say the top runner in this final. But we'll have to see. Condiment Kings have the individual lead so far. Also 2 models not yet in the orange. Green Peacocks looking fairly mixed for them, all of them almost in the funnels in the orange. Team Mayhem also have not had a great start that they've had in the previous heat and semi-final.
Yeah, Team Mayhem currently have bottom 2, and they have several others. Well, the other 2 have made a comeback in the early orange funnels, but the bottom 2 are not doing so hot for Team Mayhem. But look at the Condiment Kings. They've only had 1 cross the bridge so far, so Condiment Kings looking the most consistent. White Knights are not doing what we've expected. They've got several of theirs all the way down. There are 2 Green Peacocks currently holding a 2-3 position, as the Condiment Kings have a full funnel lead. 1 White Knight, now 2 White Knights all the way in the green funnel. This is not what we were expecting. This could still go. Again, this is anyone's race at this point in time. No one has pulled far away yet.
There's also the Green Peacocks that have 3 down in the green funnel. Team Mayhem also have a couple. Condiment Kings just have 1. So Condiment Kings, I think, are in a very good position now with 2 still in the orange funnel. Team Mayhem has everyone in the green funnel. Green Peacocks and the Condiment Kings, the first entrance into the green, in the last green. And it's 2 Team Mayhem marbles. It's anyone's game, as everyone, I think, is now in the green funnels.
I'm seeing a comeback from the White Knights. They've got 2 marbles up there. It's about all they finesse. No, it's just down to 1. It's 1-1, and the White Knights again have 1 that's going to pull ahead of the rest. So that one is likely going to win this race with the mess that we're going to see in the second green funnel. Oh, Green Peacocks come on through in first. We have to look at this order very carefully. 2 Peacocks are already done. Make that 3. They're not getting a medal here. You can breathe a sigh of relief, fellas. Condiment Kings had 3 up there. They had more consistency, but the White Knights have got to push. They're going to push for top 2. They are! This is going to be very close. Again, the Heat 1 advances. Condiment Kings and White Knights are very close for this gold. I have no idea who's got it.
What a comeback from the White Knights. We were thinking maybe they expended too much energy in the early rounds, but they were just saving it, I think, for this last amazing performance again by the White Knights. They have the top 2 in this, but is it good enough? Do they have the consistency in this final to get the gold? Green Peacocks, I don't think are going to get it, and I think Team Mayhem will hold on for the bronze, but who will it be for gold?
That is Team Mayhem's first medal of these games, and at a very good time to start doing it, get some upward momentum for these final 4 events. So Team Mayhem, well done for that bronze, because Green Peacocks had 3 of their marbles in the bottom 5, which pretty much condemns you to miss the podium in this event. But we'll have to see what the order says. Condiment Kings and White Knights are the 2 to look out for who on earth won gold. Condiment Kings looked to be the most consistent throughout the race, but the White Knights pulled back in the orange funnel. Look at that, 1-2, but also 11-13. Condiment Kings, 4 of their marbles, all 4 of theirs finished above the bottom 2 of the White Knights. This is going to be so close. Will the 1-2 of the White Knights bring them to the gold medal spot?
It's so tough to tell between those 2 teams. I think it's pretty safe to say that it's between the White Knights and the Condiment Kings. But who will it be? White Knights, they had 2 great finishes, but is it going to make up for the other 2 marbles finishing below all the Condiment Kings? Oh, I have no idea who's going to get this gold.
Well, the tension's unbearable as we wait for those final standing ones to come up. The White Knights, those top 2, last replay of how they finish it. It's a tie! Again between White Knights and Condiment Kings. It is exactly a tie, but on the top 2, the White Knights will claim their first ever Tour de Endurance gold. What a finish! A tie! Again!
Oh, the White Knights, fantastic performance to come back just barely enough to get the gold. Condiment Kings the silver, and Team Mayhem their first medal with the bronze. And with that gold medal, White Knights jump 5 into 6th place. But with that consistent performance, 12 points for the Green Peacocks, they stretch the gap to 26 points ahead of the Grayscales. The next event will be the triathlon.